Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back, you guys. The beautiful background sounds you're hearing today is the YouTube platform called Chakra Vibrations. You'll want to get a subscription over there. This one is for the heart chakra and for the root chakra. Okay, so we're going to do things a little bit differently today. We're going to say the prayer first. So I'd like to call on the Most High God and the Holy Spirit to come be with us now. I'm also calling upon our spiritual teams of highest light and resonance, including the Ascended Masters. Also calling upon and invoking and evoking the archangels, specifically Archangel Michael, Archangel Sachiel, Archangel Ariel, and Archangel Uriel. I would like to ask that they would please block out any evil, return all evil, block out anyone or anything that would try to negatively influence or impact this reading in any way. I pray for the highest light, the highest wisdom, and the highest truth to be revealed to me and my collective, and I pray for all of my subscribers. So now as I call upon your personal favor, Most High God, I would like to ask that you continue to bless me and bless this platform, and I give this platform and all of the glory here to you. I am eternally grateful for your favor, Heavenly Source, and for your unfailing love. Thank you for blessing me and my subscribers, and thank you for blessing this platform. And thank you for healing the sick and creating miracles. In your holy name, Lord my God, I give gratitude and thanks. I pray into thy holy presence, and I meditate upon your divine will, and I'm always open to any messages that you have for me at this time. Welcome in, Girl Gone. Welcome in, Mia. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Make sure you guys like the live as you come in. Okay, so now we're going to do the contract. So by watching my videos, you are agreeing to the contract of being in control of yourself, being responsible for yourself, and with any of the information being channeled. Please be on your best behavior because the Most High God is watching and the Holy Spirit is listening. By watching my videos, you're agreeing to not attack, bully, or persecute me for my calling. This also includes the evil eye spell, no evil eye, and copywriting, plagiarism, and no energy harvesting. All of the messages sent on this platform are from God and the Holy Spirit, so not copywriting them. Okay. So I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Happy Tuesday. So, yeah, the message that I have for you guys is really good, actually. It's a really good one. So it's your guys' time to shine, and nobody's going to be doing anything about that. Okay. This is like your time. And, you know, somebody wants to dampen your glow, but you guys are having a glow up. You're glowing up from the flow up. You literally are glowing up. And the thing is like this is an energetic glow up. So whoever's been, you know, watching you, I guess, is what I want to say. I don't want to say stalking, but could be stalking. But whoever's been watching you has been watching this glow up occur, and they see that you're a happier person, that your energy is more clear, that things are working out for you. And so somebody's in the Nine of Swords about that. They feel like you guys evolving and growing and becoming more spiritual is putting them back into, it's like they feel like it's putting them back to sleep. Okay. So yeah, this Nine of Swords energy, these people are grieving, they're having emotional pain, and they're very depressed because somebody is seeing you like glow up, and they're also seeing that you're using your gifts and your abilities with the Four of Pentacles here. So I do feel like somebody is regretting like saying goodbye to you. They're also regretting this Hangman energy. And I don't mean to laugh at that, but it's just funny when people think that they've sacrificed you, like, or they've sacrificed your connection. And this person is so narcissistic that they think that, oh, since we're not talking anymore, collective must be doing bad because they don't have me in their life. And it's like, no, collective is doing great. Collective is over here chilling, you know, connecting with their heart, connecting with the earth, healing and moving forward. Collective is the Empress. So it's like these people feel, you know, they think that because you're not talking to them anymore, that you're carrying a 10 of Wands, but it's actually them. These people are having a constant battle. It's like a consistent weight that's on their chest. And these people used to be able to throw their energy on you, but that's not working since you've been glowing up. it's like, doesn't matter what people throw at you, it's not going to stick. It's not going to cause you to be any more burdened. You know what I mean? Especially because you're in alignment right now. And people need to understand that if you weren't in alignment, you wouldn't be having a glow up like this. You wouldn't be showing up to the world shiny and beautiful. You know what I mean? It's because you are a star naturally that you're glowing up. And the thing is like, I do feel like this person was trying to use gossip or slander to keep you from being discovered in some type of way. And I feel like, there is somebody that wants to have a baby with you, or they want to have some type of binding contract with you. Like, I would think children are kind of like a binding contract. This person's carrying too much baggage. They're literally carrying around like 50 suitcases. You have like a little purse or a little backpack that you're walking through life with, and this person's carrying around like 50 suitcases. And they're upset because they can't keep up with you walking with just a backpack on or a purse. They can't keep up with you because they've got 50 pieces of luggage with them. And so this person actually wants you to slow down, and it's a no. Like, they petition the spiritual realm for you to be stopped and slowed down so that this person can keep up. First of all, it's not your job to carry anybody in life, and it's not your job to slow down your spiritual progress so that somebody can try to compete with you for some shit that doesn't even make any sense. So again, these gifts that were given to you, this inheritance that God gave you, is what God gave you. And so this person is not privy to that. And they feel like God has blessed you more than God's blessed them. And I don't think that that's true. I think that God has blessed this person, but they're not appreciative of the blessings that they have. That's the difference. Is that this person's very ungrateful, and you're the opposite. You guys are grateful people. Exactly. That's exactly it. It's like what you choose to do with your abilities. And this person has chosen to use their gifts to hurt and harm people, to sacrifice them, and to get them to carry some type of like crucifixion cross. That's what they want innately. They want to use you as a scapegoat so that you will be looked at as the one that can't keep up, and they'll be looked at as the shiny one. But that's not what the truth is, and that's not what the reality is reflecting. And I think that people know that this person's got a mental illness and that they have an obsession with you, because there's a whole lot of people that are shining right now in the world, and there's a lot of us light workers. Why this person has singled you out specifically to try to, and it's not even that you can't compete where you don't compare, but this person wants to keep up with you. They want to be able to be, I don't know, I just saw it like an old school diner where they would get like, people would get malt, like French fries and malt shakes. This person like wants to chill with you. They want to hang out with you. They want you guys to be on the same level, but you're not. But this person doesn't really actually want to be your friend. They just want to pick your brain for all of the ideas that you have so that then they can go work on those ideas themselves. That's why this person's intentions are all wrong. And so that's one reason why God has not taken this burden away from them. And the fact that they were going to try to scapegoat you so that you would be found guilty for something that they did is extremely low. Like, that's weak. And this person believes that God is stupid. Because anybody that thinks that they can just throw their karma onto somebody else and walk away scot-free is insane. Karma doesn't work like that. It's like there are actual spiritual laws to this stuff, and karma does not function in the way of like, if I project my woes and suffering onto somebody else, then they're going to be the ones that sacrifice and restricted. Because again, the hangman card is about restriction. It's about being confined, basically. And not really in a prison like way, but it is like being hung on a cross. This person literally wanted you to hang on a cross, and they wanted you to carry their burdens. Like, they wanted you to hang for what they've done. That is like so freaking weird to me. I do not understand that. But I guess The way that these people think is almost backwards to what normalcy would be, because, you know, if this person would face up to their own karma, maybe their life wouldn't be such a battle. But again, their method of dealing with karma is projecting it and throwing it onto other people. It is a very strange, I agree. Yeah, God's not stupid. And it's a very strange mindset that these people have. It's like crazy to me that these people, you know, think that they think this way, like truly, which means I don't know if this is a learned behavior, if this is what their mother did to them. I'm getting that this person didn't have a good relationship with their mother, and I'm also picking up that this person's mother is a witch. So they've been under spell work their entire life. So for this person, they've not had a easy road because their mother has been their biggest competitor. It's never been you. It's always been their mother that's been competing, which is pretty weird for a mother to compete with a child, but I guess it probably possibly does happen. I'm also hearing that this person has like stretched the truth about you, like bended it, stretched it, morphed it into something that it's just not. And it doesn't reflect that. Like what this person says about you doesn't reflect. When other people look at you and your energy, they do not see what this person is talking about. And so that's another very important piece of the information in this reading, is that these people are like, basically, they're broken. They're karmic and they're broken. And they had an opportunity to be divine. There could be a Piscean. This person could be, you know, acting from their Piscean energy. This person feels like you should sacrifice yourself because I don't know why. Why did they feel like this? So maybe this person has been with you growing up, or they watched you grow up, or they were around, or they've been keeping tabs on you, but they feel like you should be sacrificing yourself. Maybe because this person sacrifices themselves. Again, self-sacrifice is not the answer. Okay. That's never going to be the answer to anybody's problem. So this person can't seem to catch a break. They're being hung on the cross for something, and it's something that they actually did. It could be that this person did a spell on you a long time ago, and now like they're getting caught up for it. The Eight of Cups. They know that they have to walk away from this endeavor of trying to be you, or trying to create a life that looks like yours. I think if God wanted two of you, God would have created twins. Instead, yeah, they blame everybody else for their decisions, but they need to take responsibility. If God wanted two of you, God would have made you a twin. But, you know, two of you is not necessary. So this person really needs to go within and find their own journey and find out who they are. Like they need to do this person hates themselves. They don't love themselves. Like they don't love themselves at all, to the point where they don't want to look at their own Akashic records. This person doesn't want to look at what God has for them because they hate themselves. They can't stand being in the same room with themselves. This person knows that they've never been shit and they'll never be shit. This person knows that they're a loser. Like that, there is no confusion. And I'm not trying to be rude, but this person knows that they've been a loser and their mother's been a loser their entire life. And so this is not them being told no when it comes to you, that they can't come with you. That is not a surprise. Okay. This person should not be surprised by that. I think that because they had the privilege of being in your presence for a short amount of time, they started to think that they could be like you or become you, but they're not a loving mother. If this person has children, they've traumatized their children, abused them, or gotten them taken from CPS or DCFS, whatever it's called, Child Protective Services. This person could be limited to how often they see their children, and they see you over here raising your children or being a mother, or even having the capability of being a mother. And this person feels like, well, I want their mothering ability. Why can't I mother like them? Because this person can't mother like you because they're not compassionate and they're not loving. This person was never loved by their mother. So that's a trait that they've passed down, and it could be a generational curse. We could be looking at generational wounds. You know, I will never tell anybody that is melanated that's in this country that they're wrong for feeling the way that they feel, because we know that ancestral wounds, like if their ancestor was a slave, that those ancestral traumas and wounds and deep emotions of being scarred and abused, the people alive today are actually affected by that. They have to process all of these emotions. And so that could be something that's very difficult to go through if you've had that in your lineage. So I will never tell people that they're wrong for feeling the way that they do, but people need to understand that to become a better person or the best version of yourself, whether it's something in your ancestry, something in your DNA, or something that an ancestor went through, that looking at that and addressing it and healing it is going to be what breaks generational curses and makes you valuable to God. God loves people that are the generational curse. And it's not to say that God doesn't love other people, but God truly favors people that are willing to look at past traumas, past pains, and things that they've been through and then make a change. And so, yeah, generational trauma, ancestor trauma, it's all relevant. Just like that, we don't want the past to repeat itself. If we could learn from the past and grow from it, then it probably would stop repeating itself. But because people are so ignorant and they just say, oh, you're just saying that because your ancestor was a slave, but that's not something you went through. Actually, it could have been something that they went through in another life. In fact, they don't realize that some people will reincarnate into their same ancestral lineage. So they could have been the ancestor that actually went through the trauma of being a slave. Who are we to tell anybody that they're wrong or right? You know what I mean? And so that's why I'll never tell people that they're wrong or right about anything like that. I feel like everybody should have the space to, if something like this comes forward, an unprocessed, triggered, I feel like they should have the space to heal from that without judgment. You know what I mean? And I understand that, slavery was a long time ago and stuff, but if it wasn't still affecting the people alive today, then people wouldn't be talking about it at all. Yeah, the lessons of forgiveness makes a huge change. And so, yeah, until people work through those ancestral wounds of being a slave, and again, there's not just slavery, but other things as well. Like even Atlantis is an ancestral wound. Once they work through that ancestral wound, they will be less likely to judge and blame other people for the reason that they were wounded, when they forgive and heal. And so I feel like that's kind of everybody's journey is a healing journey. It's a journey of forgiveness and it's a journey of enlightenment. And the fact that you're glowing up right now has got somebody feeling very insecure with themselves. Like this person's solar plexus chakra is shot out. I don't know if it's from a psychic attack or if it's from carrying these burdens, but this person feels like they've been forced to and nobody forced this person to carry burdens. These people picked up more. It's like an analogy. Just with the luggage, like they're carrying around 50 pieces of luggage. Nobody told this person to go to Louis Vuitton and buy 50 pieces of luggage and then go find a bunch of shit to put in that luggage. Nobody told them to do that. So the fact that they're looking at you with a backpack from Walmart and being upset that you don't have to carry around all of this luggage, it really has nothing to do with you. It has to do with more of their choices. Yeah, exactly. Your pain shouldn't break you. It should make you. Pinhead is like, will always tell you that pain can be very liberating. And once you get beyond the levels of pain, you can see what's underneath this physical body, the spirit that's actually there. So pain can actually be extremely liberating once you get past it. But yeah, this person sees that they have to carry around a bunch of stuff that they don't want to. And instead of just releasing it, letting go of it, selling these Louis Vuitton bags, for example, it's just a metaphor, but selling all this luggage that they picked up throughout their lifetime of never dealing with their issues, Yeah, too much hurt and pain, but your pain shouldn't make you. Yeah, you got to take it and turn it into gold. There is a song that is about that. I don't remember what it's called by, but it's by Fauza. Song by Fauza. Ooh, I don't know how to spell that. But in the song it says, it took my pain and turned it into gold. Literally. Oh, I think it's called Exothermic by Fauza. And I don't know how to spell the word Fauza, but I tried. But yeah. You used to be so angry for the pain that you went through growing up, but realizing how it made you who you are today. Yeah, it gives you the chance to actually be grateful for it. And not that you would want to experience it again, because that's once you've learned the lesson, you've learned the lesson. Pain's only there to teach you. And again, it's kind of like if we didn't feel pain, we wouldn't know that fire is hot. We wouldn't know that water is cold. We would, like, just as an analogy. So the pain actually teaches us in life. I find the people that are chosen have been through the most painful experiences, to be honest. And if it just seems to me like they have gone through, in one lifetime, they've gone through things that it would be broken up for somebody else, like this person that's looking from the outside looking in. They have all of the pain in their life has been broken up, to 700 different lifetimes, where you've taken in this lifetime 700 lifetimes of pain in one lifetime. Like, it's like, and transformed that. So if you can do it, if Lucifer can make amends with the Most High God, if the devil can become loved again and serve a purpose, then so can anybody else. And that's, I'll always tell you about how I'm Loki, and Loki didn't always do nice things in the past. So if I can make amends and turn it around and have another chance, then so can you. Like, doesn't matter who you were in the past, and doesn't matter what you're doing now. If you want to make a change, you can do that. And that's the whole point of free will. God wants us to choose to make a change rather than God to force a change on us. Because when we don't listen to the universe could have been telling you to leave a man, leave a situation, leave a job for a long time. But when we don't listen to the universe, then God will create a situation that will force us to take a step back and look at what's going on, so that then we can make a better decision for ourselves. And I feel like you have made better decisions for yourself. And that's why you're not, you're also not a martyr. You're not going to be a martyr. Like, I think that martyrdom is straight up stupid, and it's just an excuse for somebody to crucify another person. Like, I don't feel like martyrdom, I don't think God is impressed by martyrdom. And basically all of the martyrs were caused by I don't want to just blame the Catholic Church, but like back in the day, there was a lot of martyrs, like Saint Valentine, for example, people that were martyred by the church. And the moment that the church, because the people execute the person, and then after they're executed, that person turns into a saint. And it's like, come on, you created the saints in your own church by martyring them, by unaliving them, and then realizing that they were very valuable. And that's why they unalive them. And this process of trying to martyr people and make them carry the burdens of the people needs to stop. I wish that they would have came up with that scapegoat ritual that the Jews did, or Israelites, or whoever. But yeah, they would have two goats, and one of the goats, this is what they used to do. They would have two goats. They would do a ritual to God. They would cast the sins of their people onto one goat, send it out into the desert. Just like send it out into the desert carrying their sins. And then the other goat, they would sacrifice that to Yahweh. And so I feel like that whole concept of casting your sins onto one being, that's not right, and that's not fair. And I feel like God forbid that anybody ever saw a goat running through the desert and was like, well, we better go catch that goat, we're starving. And then you have somebody eating the sins of an entire group of people. That's insane. Yeah, don't understand and then cast judgment on others, but they have skeletons in their closet. Yeah, and it's like, they sent the scapegoat out to a Azazel or a Zazel, however you say it. He likes Azazel better, but yeah, I feel like that ritual gave people the idea that they could just cast their sins and their cares and worries on something physical and, send it out into the desert for some poor person to come across and unknowingly eat. Or just to even to do that to an animal is insane. Like, that's crazy. That's basically animal abuse. But we're not going to pick apart the Bible. I'm just saying that this whole it was a concept that was created that people still stick to today. The devil. These people are having to walk away from their devilish behavior. I do feel like they were under the influence of Mr. Diablo, Shaitan over here, for quite some time, and they thought that this entity. Now, there are a lot of people that will be like, until you learn how to discern the voice of the Lord. I have never heard the voice of the Lord. I've never heard a being from any type of heaven say, I am God, blah, blah, blah. No, like to me, that's not God. That's some type of higher dimensional being that is pretending to be God 9 times out of 10. If it says it's God, it's most likely not God. But, yeah, there's a lot of people that are mistaking what they're understanding from their higher self to be something that's like of the Most High God. The Most High God, it does not have a body to speak with. So it's an energy. It's an always loving energy that's being given. And people hate the freaking crap out of God because of that loving energy. They're like, why won't you take out my enemy? Why won't you do this? God won't do that type of shit because literally God is a loving energy. It's like a source, a high vibrational frequency. God's not going to do some low vibrational shit unless, God will allow people's karma to catch up with them, but God's not going to, imprison people and inflict suffering upon them. Like, I just don't feel that God is evil. But these people that these pastors and priests and whatever, that they feel like they're talking to God, and I don't think that they are. I think that they're talking to a higher dimensional being. And you may receive messages from spirit, like in a dream or through your intuition. And yeah, that still is connecting with your higher self and God, but it's not like getting a direct message. You know what I mean? Like, thou shalt not this or thou shalt not that. People had to use God as an example because, welcome in, Watt or what? But yeah, they had to use God as an example because they had no way of enforcing the laws that they created for society when the time to create the commandments and the laws were created. It was like, okay, empty threats basically. But if they put God behind it, then people would be forced to basically, out of fear of God punishing them, people would be forced to listen to the commandments. So yeah, I do feel like there is a bit of communication confusion. Some people, like these people that are like, God told me to get rid of all of my perfume. God told me to get rid of this. That's not God. I'm sorry. God's not going to tell you to do anything that is going to change your free will or what you are doing. God gives that free will. God may leave you little clues, through your intuition doing what it naturally does. And that's what I think people, they're either communicating with something that they think is God, and because they can't see spirit around them, they don't know what they're talking to. But that's why a lot of people, when they act like they're directly connected to God, and they're bringing down all this hellfire on people for not following whatever the Bible says. I don't look at the Bible as a mysterious book. I look at it as literature, and literature that is divine literature, but I don't agree. I don't feel like the source agrees with everything that's in the Bible. I feel like a lot of that stuff was manipulated by mankind, and a lot of it was also left out. Like there's so many books in that could have been included with the Bible that it wanted to exclude all of this extra testimony from people. So I feel like the Bible is a book of people's testimonies, and it's very relative to human life because it's something that humans every story in the Bible is something that humans have gone through. And so you can look at how these people dealt with, you know, um, what is it? Radshak, Meshach, and Abednego, the three people that the Nebuchadnezzar throws them into the fire, and the angel comes down and puts the fire out, and the people walk away. Like that's a testimony. Like the Bible is full of people's testimonies, but it's only full of the testimonies that would go along with the religion's dogma, basically. Yes, absolutely. And I do believe that we can talk to our guardians and ancestors. And that's where, like I said, higher dimensional beings, that's where you'll get a communication back. But when a lot of people, when they think that they're talking to the Most High, they're talking to a spirit that's been with them, or an ancestor, or a guide, or an angel. And that's why angels communicate with numbers quite a bit. But yeah, absolutely. It's up to us to make the right decisions, and, not to, like, if we choose love every time, we're choosing God. If we choose fear, we're choosing the lower, I don't even want to say it's the devil, but it's just the lower state of mankind's being in the ego. The moon. This devil energy in the moon. Oh my gosh, these people are having to walk away from this devilment, from being super. It's not that they're walking away from being greedy, but they're walking away from the moon magic that they were doing. They're seeing that this moon magic ritual crap has not gotten them any success. Like, they're like, why? I've done all this moon magic. I've worked with the devil. I made pacts and bonds with whatever lower entity or energy, chthonic deity or chthonic deity, whatever these are. I've made all these agreements. I've done all this stuff up under the moon, staying up all night. This person is always like in their bed sleeping because they stay up all night. And you could be finding that you're getting extra rest at this time. That's not a bad thing. Okay, can we get the cards on the table, please? All right, the judgment just fell out. See, this person's up under heavy ass judgment. Heavy judgment. And this is a final judgment. This devil energy and the moon and this person, the reason that they're suffering right now is because they're up under heavy judgment. They should have looked at you for inspiration on how to be a good person, rather than looked at you with envy, because they wanted to sacrifice you to this devil energy that they could even believe is God. That's why it's very dangerous to not use your discernment. People that's their gifts have been shut down, or they don't have any, or whatever, they've been doing a lot of moon magic to get these spiritual abilities, to then not use their discernment with them, which is crazy. Like, how are you going to think that God has led you to attack somebody with witchcraft? God is so not that. God is love. Like, God equals love. God equals peace. God equals serenity. God equals compassion. So God's never going to tell anybody to use witchcraft or moon magic to attack anybody. God's not going to tell anybody to sacrifice somebody to the devil. Okay. Like, that is not God. And that's where I feel like I would love for the entire human race to awaken to that awareness that our higher self is God, and we can go within and access God that way to our own inner kingdom. And if you believe that Christ is the way, it is through Christ consciousness. But that consciousness, it may not come back as a person. It may come back as you. That Christ consciousness could very be your evolved state. It could just be very Christ-like. And, turning the other cheek. Jesus turned the other cheek, not to allow people to beat on him. That whole premise is to not give any energy to this devil. because if somebody's going to smack you, it's because they want to see a reaction out of you. So if you don't give them any reaction, you don't give them any energy, then they've got to go about trying to extract that energy in a different type of way. And that's like the ancient old game that's been going on forever of why people, you know, they blame other people for why. I think it's weird for somebody to blame you because God loves you. This is like, this person feels like God's picking you over them. No, God picks everybody. God will come meet you where you're at and will help you get back up. But God will not do all of the work, because it is God doing all of the work because we are God and it's God working through us. But you have to mentally think for yourself, just like this person does. You could get the messages, but if you don't follow the message, then you're not going to be delivered from whatever. And you never want to find out that you got an intuitive message or a feeling or a nudge for something and then not follow through with that nudge that you get. You don't ever want to find out why the divine has told you something, sent you a vision of something, sent you a dream about something. And if you ignore it, that's very ignorant. Because again, dreams are not just dreams. Things start out as a dream, but then they grow and progress until they turn into something in the physical world. And that's why I love the show The Sandman. That first episode, they have that part of the cats. Oh my God. They have that part of the cats that basically at one point, the cats were rulers of the people, and the people were always like worshiping the cats. And then through the humans dreaming to be in control of the cats, then the people was reversed. The cats got smaller and the people got bigger, and the people took over. That analogy is very true. That's very true. Okay, who just sent a sodomy demon your way? It's that pastor person, because that's what they have attached to them. Wow. So yeah, I would definitely release. You've got to do maybe a cord cutting with that person, Ragnarok. Yeah, you've got definitely somebody that is trying to actively work against you. And they feel like because they're bisexual or something, they feel some type of way for you. It's not exactly love, but it is a sexual attraction that this person has. Whoever that person is, they're very sexually attracted to you. So they could have been yanking their snake to you, and then that energy of whatever sex demon they have could have just been. That's people like try to send that shit that way. Okay, girl gone. Thank you. Why do you keep dreaming about a baby boy, taking care of him and saving him from harm? Wow. And you can't have any more kids. So what does it mean? Who is the baby? Okay, let's ask Spirit. Okay, so even though you can't have children or any more children, you are going to have a grandchild at some point. And I think that this is kind of giving you a warning that, you may have a grandbaby. You've dreamt about him 2 days in a row. Wow, that's extremely significant. Yeah, I'm getting a grandbaby energy. What I'm hearing is that you're not done being a parent. It would be very interesting to see, in the dream, do you feel like the baby is your own? Because I feel like it's a baby. Look at this, the shaman. This baby that comes through, this baby boy, is gonna be like, I got a major Jesus energy right away. And I was looking at the Divine Mother to see if Holy Mary has anything to say, but it's about one of your grandchildren. So one of your grandchildren could end up becoming the forest, could end up becoming literally like a healer of all ages. Eros, yeah. Eros is the energy, is a titan of love. That kind of makes sense. So you're getting like because you've been okay, this grandchild that you are going to end up having in the future, and I'm getting like it may be over 10 or 15 years from now, but this child that you may end up raising this child or being a really big part of its life. And I feel like this child's going to be some type of healer or shaman, healer of all ages, Christ consciousness person. And so what you're doing now with raising your own children is affecting this baby. I feel like you're being visited by the spirit that's going to be your grandchild. Yeah. This venom energy, I definitely feel like you're protected from this. Your grandchild may actually be giving you protection now from something that you don't see, this venom energy. So as much as you're going to raise and teach this boy is going to raise and teach you. Then in the dream you had last night, you were taking him here like he was yours. Yeah. And I don't get that anything bad is going to happen to your child, but I do feel like you are going to, for a long time, raise this baby. Not completely on your own. Yeah, the warrior, literally. Not completely on your own, but so it may be something that, what I'm kind of feeling is like that one of your children's spouses may pass away in the future, and so they'll need help with the child, and then you're going to be there. You're going to be there to teach this child about their spiritual abilities. The warrior and the sword, yeah, you are very protective of this baby, and this baby is an actual spirit, and it's very protective of you. So it's just showing you that the legacy, I feel like it has to do with legacy. Your heart, this has to do with legacy. And the legacy that you're leaving now is going to change the world in the future. The king, this person is going to be a king. This boy that you raise is going to be, like I was saying, Jesus. It's going to be like that. It's going to be a king, a warrior, somebody that can extract the venom out of things. And they're also going to be very tied to nature, extremely tied to nature. I'm seeing blue, the siren. Interesting. So am I seeing blue because it's a boy, or am I seeing blue because of the ocean with the siren here? Oh, I'm seeing blue because this boy is going to be of the lineage of Archangel Michael. That's why I'm seeing blue. Okay, so if you don't know about the book of Enoch, in the book of Enoch, Archangel Michael, and this, again, this is just literature, but Archangel Michael comes down, and all of the women who have slept with the fallen angels, he turns them into sirens. So I'm getting big Archangel Michael energy. So that could be very, very significant and important to know that your grandchild is, going to be somebody who was in the position of Archangel Michael for quite some time before coming into this world. The hunter, exactly. Like Archangel Michael straight up hunted down these people and turned them into sirens. Well, they were women, the women that, and again, it doesn't exactly seem so fair, but it is what it is. Someone's deleting your messages. Yeah, I'm so sorry. It's really weird how YouTube does their censorship. Like, I don't have any way to control that, or I don't even get to see what you guys write that they don't let you see. The prayer. So definitely what you're doing right now is going to affect this situation. I feel like when this child comes into this world, this king, like literally the energy of a king, he's going to be a little prince. There may be energies that come for this child, and it's going to be very imperative that you are able to protect this child. Again, the sword, I'm seeing the sword now in another light with Archangel Michael's sword. It's like giving birth. Your child's a starseed and an oracle. They're going to be giving birth to an as somebody that was in the position of Archangel Michael for a certain amount of time. And this prayer, everything that you're praying about now, covering your children, is keeping, because this child is going to know how to transmute energy, just straight up. Like, I'm like seeing literally in the dream you feeding him, the kiss, literally be healing people, uniting people, and literally when this child's frequency comes onto this plane of existence, people are going to lose their shit. They're going to start, literally, you're going to have people. And again, I read for somebody years ago when I worked at the Crystal Ray. She came in and she was being hunted down by these weird extraterrestrial people, and they were trying to get her baby because her baby was connected to one of the archangels, or was an archangel. And that shit was way scary. They kept trying to come to her to convince her to give up her baby. And it was like, what the hell? No. And then they were following her and stalking her. So I do feel like this has to do with that. I'm also getting that whatever you're praying about now is covering your children. Oh, thank you, Red Elephant. I appreciate you as well. So this is going to make a major turning point in history when this child comes into creation. So there could be an energy that knows about this. I'm getting a big prophecy, like a huge prophecy. The pilgrim. Yeah, because it's going to be a major journey. This is going to be a major journey for this soul to come from such a high vibration to come down to this realm. Major pilgrimage energy. I'm also feeling like this person may end up breaking religion in some type of way. Like there's going to be some type of prophecy over this person's life, and they're going to fulfill it. Like it's inevitable. You're gonna out holes in walls. Yeah, this pilgrim energy is basically the energy of making a big travel. Like, and so for somebody that's going to be so high vibrational to come down to this realm, they're going to need a caretaker that can help them understand why they're going to experience so much hatred, because it is again being chosen. It's going to be a chosen. Yeah. The mask, why people, you're going to have to explain to this child, because again, they're going to be so highly evolved that they're going to be asking questions. Why do people treat me differently? People will be wearing a mask around this baby. I get like big intimidation energy coming through. Okay, let me just block this bully because this person's fucking psychotic. And nothing that they're saying is making sense, so they need to go. Go take some fucking medication, Eden. Go to a goddamn doctor, go to a psychiatrist, go take some fucking medication. And stay away from my readings. You're not welcome here. Okay? We don't support harassment or bullying, and I'm not even going to read your crazy psychotic shit, so just go away. All right? That's all. This is what I'm talking about, turning the other cheek. Just forgive that person. They're psychotic and need to be on medication. But yeah. So this is actually all making sense to me, because when this baby comes into creation, you may be in the stage of being a crone, or you may feel that way. But again, you are going to have lived through all of the experience needed so that you can guide this child. And I do feel like, this is a being that functions from its heart, that's going to be living from its heart. I'm literally seeing that. And I've seen this before, where some children are so healing, like when they just touch their parents, it's healing. And so you having this going through your bloodline, this makes sense to me. This makes total sense to me. And everything that you're going to be learning, it's like you're going to master all of this stuff. And then when this child comes into existence, you are going to be so in love with it. Just in love with being a grandparent. And you're going to be able to actually guide them, because this person's going to be a natural healer. They're also going to be immune to some type of like devil energy. It's not going to be able to affect them. The queen, the king and the queen came out. Big royalty energy. But yeah, I get a good vibration. I mean, I get a really good feeling about this. This is definitely some type of prophecy that will be over. And again, you may not figure out the entire prophecy until it's completed, but it does have to do with you going into the state of being a crone, learning all of the lessons that you have in this life. And then when you're connecting with this child, and for some reason you are going to be taking care of this child a lot. So it could be that because it's a grandchild. That's what I'm specifically hearing is grandchild. The bridge, you're going to basically be the thing to bridge them from spirit into the physical. And it may be that this person's, whoever your child has this child with genetically, they may not end up being in their life. And so you're going to take a more active role is what I'm seeing. And being that bridge of knowledge to where this, because again, this is a very high evolved soul, like extremely highly evolved. So they're going to have a lot of wisdom that, that you don't have, and you're going to have lots of wisdom that they don't have. And so you're basically, it's showing you a soul contract that you're going to have, and making connection with that, fulfilling it. The one, like I said, this dude, if this wasn't so, the cards would not come out this way. This child, like I said, is going to be that child of Christ consciousness. It's going to be a lifter up of other people. And because it's connected to Archangel Michael's energy, I feel like it's going to naturally clear up energy. So you could find that just hanging around this child brings your energy frequency up. Can I see your last question? No, the only one I'm seeing is that I'm going to holes in walls. I'm going to out holes in walls. That's what I'm seeing. Yes, absolutely. Your grandchildren are being extremely gifted, but this is feeling like this is something more than just being gifted. This is like being gifted and being chosen, both of those. And so, like I was saying, the river, yes, being gifted and being chosen. This person is going to have so much enlightenment, truly, being the one. And the fact that, like, I don't care what anybody says, when you have grandchildren, it's like falling in love all over again, just like how you raised your children and you loved that time that they were young. She was doing your donation. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. Oh, are the angels stopping that person? You mean the Scipio person? No, the angels are not stopping that person. But I would start reading Psalm 91 against them, because what I'm picking up on, that whatever that thing that was going on is coming from that person. And like I said, that person could be sexually attracted to you and not even know it. The vision, see, this is so dead on. And I've never even seen this card from this deck. I thought that I had seen them all, but this is making sense to me. So again, it's holding this vision of healing. Your children are your children's children, and it's going to continue to go on forever. Nobody's going to be able to break that cycle of your children being chosen and then their children being chosen. Yeah, your vision in your dream. Exactly. And so you're receiving insight about this so that you don't worry. Because there may be a time where you're like, when is my child going to find somebody? When it'll be divinely timed when they find somebody. The father, oh my God, literally when they find. So again, so it could be your son's child. Wow. This baby's going to be so connected to the father. It's going to be crazy. You're going to be like, where did this soul must have come from heaven? Like, obviously. And also when you see this child for the first time, you're going to see a glowing blue light that surrounds them. And there maybe was a glowing blue light in your dreams. He looked like he was glowing. Oh my gosh. I just got chills all over my face. Yes. Yeah, he's going to be glowing blue, like a soft blue light. The mirror. So at that point, when this child's born, it's going to be an opportunity that you have to spend a lot of time with it. And again, you may end up starting to mirror what this child does because they're going to be a natural healer. When I see people that have been in Archangel Michael's position and have held it for a certain amount of time, usually they'll incarnate with like an ability. Yeah, that's exactly how you saw them. They'll incarnate with an ability that I call it like selenite ability, because they won't pick up negative energy like other people do. And they'll be able to help other people clear their energy. And so, yeah, that's going to be a really good thing. This child is going to be such a gem to the universe. I mean, such a precious gift, such a precious gift. And I feel like you're learning about your spiritual journey now so you can teach your children. But then when this grandchildren comes about, you're going to have, and you will be in the energy of the crone, you will have so much more wisdom. Yeah, it doesn't feel like the angels are stopping them, Ragnarok. If the angels were stopping them, they wouldn't be able to send a demon to you. So, but you should start praying Psalm 91 against that person. If they were stopping them, there would be no demonic attachment. You would have not had an experience at all. But you also have to ask yourself, if God allowed this experience to go through, then what is it that I need to learn from it? Because we're all responsible for our own creation. So it's definitely trying to teach you something. The vow. Yeah. And again, I feel like you vowed in other lifetimes to look after this child. But this vow is something that is extremely divine. It's like, it's like committing to doing a divine life path, because we have lifetimes where we don't access our spirituality. Like, we have lifetimes that we aren't spiritual, that we are just physical. But over time, things will grow and change. And if God wouldn't allow it to happen, then why did it happen? It doesn't make any sense. Because if you don't learn how to defend yourself from these things, like, what do people think about God? What the hell? Why do people think that God's going to come in and save you? God allows you to go through spiritual warfare so you can learn to defend yourself. And if you don't learn to defend yourself, then how are you going to help anybody else? So yeah, God will allow you to go through things for as long as you need to until you learn how to defend yourself from the shit. And then once you learn that, you won't You won't need to be calling on God to be saved from it. The vessel, look at this. This is an interesting picture. This is an interesting picture. See the body of that woman, the vessel. So again, we know that motherhood is something extremely sacred. And there is a mystical, mysterious element to it. You know, this child could end up being a poet. They could literally be like, it's giving me like Rumi energy. Rumi was a very enlightened poet, very enlightened. Very enlightened. In fact, some of Rumi's poems could bring you to tears. They're so beautiful. The tear. Literally, the tear. I cut it on the tear. That's funny. Literally can bring you to tears. And I do feel like the reason that you're getting these visions of taking care of this child is because you will be taking care of this child a lot. And not to say that your child won't be a responsible parent. I feel like they'll just be working, and that whoever they link up with may not be responsible, because the orphan card is here. It's like you may end up adopting your child or your grandchild and raising them for a time, for a number of many reasons. But I do get that your child will be in your grandchild's life for sure. But yeah, but God allows everybody to have free will, and God allows everybody to work through their own stuff and to learn, how to become better people. And so this is one reason why people blame God for everything, because God will not intervene on other people's free will. God's always wanting to know what you guys are going to do with the information and the knowledge and the situations you're given, how you're going to grow, how you're going to evolve, and what you're going to choose. The anima mundi, literally, the anima mundi is like the animus. So if you know about Carl Jung, if you guys don't know, was a psychologist, and they have an entire actual like it's called union psychology. Okay, it says last name was Jung. So again, I could be butchering it, but Carl Jung talks about the animus, and it's basically like that reptilian part of our brain that that lower state. This child is going to be born, I feel like, without that lower state. It's going to be born without some type of filter, which could mean that that you will find that this baby creates without being in that low state. And not saying that the animus is negative, but it is, like, we'll just be honest, the reptilian part of the brain is a limiting thing. For people to reach Christ consciousness, they have to get out of living in fight or flight mode. You know what I mean? So yeah, the mountain. And I haven't done anything to you, Ragnarok. So again, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with people today, but I'm not doing anything to anybody. The stone and the gem. Look at that. Two different energies that basically say the same thing, something extremely rare and precious. I mean, the gemstone is something that's extremely rare. And the stone is also, the same thing. I'm saying like a lot of sacred geometry as well. Let's see if anything else comes out. I saw the sustainer, and I don't think I've seen that card either. Interesting. So the sustainer is somebody that, somebody that is like, it's like Vishnu energy, a preserver, somebody that helps keep things in the right way. This child's going to be a shaman, just a natural shaman. Literally, their true self is going to be this shaman. And so you learning about shamanism now, it all just falls into alignment with this child that's going to be born. Literally, divine being. The starborn. Yeah, it's going to be a star seed, starborn energy, like literally. And that's why I truly do believe that spiritual abilities are genetic. They're passed through the genetic line. I feel like people's genetics have to be attuned to a certain type of frequency to hold these types of abilities. And these types of abilities, they are rare. That's why the gemstone came out. They're very rare. They're precious stones. And so, yeah, so just how like you've been through a lot of experiences being chosen that have been really difficult that you've had to learn to navigate. This child will go through experiences as well, but you will have already learned how to not everyone wants to hear the truth. You will already have known how to navigate these systems and these situations. And so when this child goes through experiencing, jealousy, envy, or just people straight out hating them because of their energy, you're going to already have something very positive seated within them because it's genetic. You're going to be able to explain to them what it is that they're going through and why people are reacting that way so that they don't get like a self-confidence, you know what I mean? So that their self-confidence isn't ruined. Because being chosen, you could grow up feeling always like an outsider because you're different from everybody else, which is true. You know what I mean? It's like, it's true. The healer, I was saying the healer of all ages, like literally the healer of all ages. This baby is going to be so divine that just by it interacting with you, it's going to heal you. Kairos. So there could see that blue energy again. This could be a blue-eyed baby. It could also be very connected to the energies of the pyramids in ancient Egypt. Oh my gosh, yeah, you're going to be such a wonderful grandmother to your grandchildren. Absolutely. Absolutely. The eternal child. This baby, when it comes into your life, you are going to re-experience what it's like to be a child all over again through interacting with this. And that's entering into the eternal child. Because when you can access that divine energy from being young again, that's beautiful. Wow. Wow. Yeah, this baby's eyes could be very blue. Yeah, this is going to be amazing. The comic, this baby could also be very funny. You know how humor and comedy like heals people? I get that energy big here. So this is a good thing. You having dreams, you may even have another dream, but it's not just a dream. These are dreams where the spirit is actually coming to interact with you, and it's letting you know that everything that you're doing now is all in preparation for this one thing, for this baby that is the one to be born. And then when this child is born, you will have already gone through all of the necessary shifts, changes, and trials, basically, to where this child that's going to go through the same, I would call them like life initiations, you'll be able to guide them on how to react and how not to react to things. But yeah, this child's going to be a warrior just like you're a warrior. Literally, they're going to be able to clear this venom out of people, and they're going to be tapped into this Eros higher energy of love. You do want to adopt children later in life. So again, I do feel like you're going to end up adopting you may not be a formal adoption, but your child's going to need help raising this baby for whatever reason, and you're going to be there to help, obviously, because you would never abandon your child. And it's just going to be really exciting for you. It's going to make that crone part of your life so much better, so much more, exciting and everything. I mean, because it's kind of like you really want to cherish your children while they're in that small state. You know what I mean? Like azurite blue. Yeah. Like, I don't know what azurite is, but I think it sounds like a crystal, but yeah. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so beautiful. So yeah, everything. And again, when you have your journey all mapped out with your journals, you're going to be able to just read your journals to your child, to your grandchild, and to your child. And it's going to help them make sense of things. You're very welcome. I'm excited for you. And I love that this child's coming to you in the dream state. Wow. Yeah, I don't feel like you are going to adopt a child from foster care. I feel like you're going to be more in your grandchild's life, like full time. Full time. So this devil energy, you guys, you're being seen as a loving mother, somebody that guides other people, and you're guiding your own children, and you're going to guide other people, like literally by creating this body of work about how to guide people. Basically, you're going to be guiding other people who have children that are chosen as well, because it's like the downloads that you get on how to deal with the things in your own life are not just for you. They're for other people that you'll never even know that will purchase your writing. You know what I mean? And then once they purchase it, they're going to be like, oh, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. Now I know how to navigate having a child with psychic abilities. Like, that's going to be something specifically that you teach people how to nurture and nourish, their children, and to support their children and their actions and everything. And so it's like, and in the experiences that they come to you with. So other people who, I don't know if I want to call them muggles or normies or ordinary people that are not on a spiritual journey, they're not going to understand how to raise spiritual children. Like, they're not going to understand it, but with the writings that you create, you're going to like lay it out really simple for the layman, for anybody that hasn't gone into depth basically on how to raise a child with abilities. Because most normies' reaction to spiritual experiences are that they didn't happen, Oh, really? Azurite features deep contrasting shades of blue, which comes from fusion of malachite. Wow, closely related mineral, nearly the same as chemistry and crystal healing as azurite is a gem. Wow, when it comes to enhancing creativity and inner wisdom. Nice. Yeah, I definitely know about azurite. I just wasn't, I was like, what color blue is that? But yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that it was a fusion with malachite. Malachite is absolutely gorgeous. Such a pretty color. Place it in your office or your studio. Wow, for its powerful energy. Interesting. Okay. Stimulates creativity. Yeah, it's probably like balancing the throat chakra. A study aid for doing work. Wow. Okay, cool. Thank you, Nurkarim. I love that. You have that knowledge. That's awesome. Sit quietly with the stone for 20 minutes to benefit from its inspiring energy. Absolutely. Wow. I love that. So yeah, it just is, this is all showing you guys that everything that you do today, there's a reason for it. So whoever this person that's grieving right now, they're upset because they're getting judgment called on them. And it's because they were doing some type of spying. It will never make sense to me why people do shit like this. Yes, absolutely. One while you're journaling. Absolutely. And remember, for the mineral to be working for you, unless it's clear quartz can work for you when it's not in your energy field, but it's got to be within your arm's reach for its properties to be working for you. Basically within your aura. So that's why a lot of people will put crystals in their bra, in their purse. But if you put it in your purse and you leave that purse at home and then you go out, the crystal's not going to be benefiting you while you're gone, unless it's a clear quartz and you've programmed it. So to get a face behind this weirdo, I don't want to be calling them a weirdo, but the way that they think is obscure. It's backwards. It's like the Knight of Wands in the reverse. There is a masculine energy that's very intimidated by your mothering skill, like, which is weird. They're cruel and abusive, sadistic. I really wish that this person would stop coming up in the energy. It's like indigo bluish. Indigo is like one of my favorite colors, literally. I mean, I have so many favorite colors, though. It's always changing. I'm always like, I like the rainbow, just all of them. Sometimes it's yellow, sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's purple, sometimes it's indigo, which is blue and purple. Gorgeous. So I painted a room in the condo I used to live in indigo, and it came out really dark, but it was still pretty cool. To call them muggles sounds too kind. I know. I'm just trying not to be offensive because I don't want to call anybody names, but this person, the way that they think is like backwards to everybody else that has sanity. Yeah, you have a different favorite color every year. So do I. It's like every week, probably. I'm like, ooh, I like this. Ooh, I like that. The Four of Wands, this is all about your creative goals and projects and how they're going to influence other people. So it talks about ideas are plentiful, financial rewards come in from completed work. Money doesn't necessarily mean happiness, but it means that you're going to have a lot of it. Yeah, you can never pick one color. I know it's way too hard. It's like all of the colors make me feel good. And so this also talks about rewards come in from your hard work. And I feel like this is light work that you're doing with the sun here. And the more that you spread this light to other people, the happier people are going to be. And I will always tell people that they don't have to agree with what I'm saying, but they have to respect that what I am saying is what I'm picking up. And nobody's perfect at what they do, but yeah. So this person is extremely weak. They abuse their power. The strength in the reverse. I mean, I have most of these cards in the upright, so that the fact that it came out that way, these people are always tempted to abuse their power and take immoral actions against you. They're also their own worst enemy, and they have not realized that yet. But I don't think it's your job to tell this person that they are their own worst enemy. This person, this masculine energy is connected to a very selfish woman, somebody who's really, really low vibrational. And this emotional upheaval with the Five of Cups in the reverse, this is talking about disappointment and heartache will pass in time. Somebody could be wanting to replace whoever this low vibrational female is with you and your energy. The Ten of Swords came out. So this person's basically working against themselves. I feel like that they were projecting a lot of energy to you, and you've moved from that space. You're not there to collect that energy anymore, and you're not responsible for it. You're moving into wish fulfillment. You having this grandchild is going to be your ultimate wish fulfillment. And then also it's going to bring what you guys are working on is going to bring fame. Not fame in the sense where like I see you being on talk shows and stuff like that and explaining your journey. Maybe even some of your journals being turned into a movie. But yeah, what I'm seeing is like fame that comes through being recognized by other people for the work that you've done. What is it called when people are really good at being like scientists, and they get these like specific awards. I forget what it's called, but it's an American thing. Like, I forget what it's called. I'm sure that Albert Einstein probably received one of these awards. They're like awards for being a really good person if you make discoveries and stuff like that. Nobel Prize. Thank you. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. So there may be, when I'm seeing the reward, I'm seeing more of that type of energy of a Nobel Prize. Because again, if you create something that helps other people, not only heal their own inner child, but work with their own children and their light working abilities, it could make a huge impact on this planet. And bringing other people into Christ consciousness, that's going to be part of it. That's just going to be a side effect of what your work does. It's kind of like being an artist, and everything that you create inspires other people. I do feel like some people need to, I feel like you guys are learning how to discern energy that's being projected from your own energy, because again, if it doesn't feel like the way that you feel, yes, Nobel Prize in medicine, absolutely. Because if the energy around you doesn't feel like the energy that you naturally emit, then it's not yours. So this learning of how to, how to discern projection is very important. And I feel like it's going to teach other people how to learn their own energy so that they'll know when something is off. Because you have not been, even though this energy's been projected, you haven't been receiving it. The Page of Cups, like, this is a beautiful offer. These people are getting something fishy. They're giving fishy energy, that's masculine, and their feminine hasn't even come out as a female. But I do feel like, in the future, when you are a grandparent, there may be somebody else. So, I see what it is. Okay, so when you are a grandparent to this child, the other grandparents, which is going to be the person that your child has a baby with, their parents, they may want to step forward and take responsibility for the child, but you're being shown right now that it's actually going to be your destiny to raise this child with your son or daughter. So yeah, the Six of Wands, that's a really good outcome. Nobel Peace Prize. Exactly. You guys are such an inspiration. The Three of Wands. Through careful planning, a goal and project long in your dreams will be realized. A new business idea. You guys will be flourishing. Literally. That's in the destiny. It's already written out. It says anticipate obstacles and how you would overcome them. That's part of what your journals do, is anticipate obstacles and how to overcome them. That's basically what your work is going to be doing. The Three of Pentacles. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of people backing you, a lot of people wanting to collaborate with you, and a lot of people respecting your wisdom. Because again, wisdom is not gained through reading stuff. It's gained through real life experience. And if you're able to translate that real life experience into something that somebody could read, then they could actually learn the wisdom from the experiences that you've been through without having to actually go through the experience. Now that is a gift that is seriously the best gift ever. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine if you could have just been told all of the lessons about all the lessons that you were going to go through in life? If you could have just been told the cheat sheet to, like, basically bypassing those things, like, literally, that's what I'm kind of picking up. The Wheel of Fortune, and how to access your Wheel of Fortune. This is being fortunate. Having wisdom is much better than having knowledge, because knowledge is just information that's gathered together. But like, oh, thank you. Thank you. The knowledge that's just gathered together could be interpreted wrong, but when it comes through as wisdom, the wisdom is something that will teach you without you having to go through the full experience. Like we could know that it's unwise to have sex without protection, right? But if people would listen to the wisdom of it's unwise to have sex without protection with somebody you don't know, then, yes, you did wish your parents were philosophers when you were a kid. Yeah. And again, when we're teenagers, I think almost all of us feel like we know everything, but there is so much stuff that people that are in the crone stage or elderly people, I don't even want to say elderly, but people that have lived life that have gone through so much stuff. And it's like there's so much wisdom in all of the stuff that they've been through that you can take their experiences and learn from it so that when you come across it yourself, you don't fall into a trap and it doesn't affect you in the same way that it could have affected somebody else. The Knight of Swords. There's somebody coming in really aggressively, and I feel like this person, they could have a military demeanor, but they're more of the type of person that I feel like this person is telling this person that's in the Nine of Swords to stop talking about you. That's what I'm getting. Somebody's coming in to say, hey, you can't continually make false reports against someone. Can't be trying to disturb their chi, disturb their peace. Wow, you wish mine were archaeologist. Oh my gosh, you know what? I'm adopted. I used to literally think that David Bowie was my father. I was like, when I saw The Labyrinth, I was like, that's my dad. I was like, that's my dad. But yeah, I loved him. He was so great. He was so great. I was like, my dad's going to come back. I was literally thinking, like, as a child, my dad's going to come back someday and he's going to take me to go live with the leprechauns or not the leprechauns, but the goblins or trolls or whatever they're called. But yeah. All right. So I think we could leave it at the Wheel of Fortune because that gives me a really good feeling, a very good feeling. I'm also feeling like, when other people come in to collaborate with you, don't be afraid of that because they are a part of the Wheel of Fortune. So the collaboration could come in as a publishing company. It could be like, I'm hearing like it could be something like Hay House. So yeah, there will be people that are very attracted to your work. You'll have to use your discernment, but I feel like they're coming in with a bigger goal in hand to help mass produce whatever this is and to give you a platform to get that to other people basically. And so these people will come in at the perfect divine right time. And so you'll be like, what do I do next? And then boom, somebody will come into your life, or I'm not getting that you need a ghostwriter. And I'm honestly feeling like all you may need is somebody that would be an editor to read through. And you could use Chat GPT, but that's an AI. So I don't know if the AI can understand things from a human perspective like we can. But Chat GPT is a good way to edit things. But I think you'll definitely want a person to read over your work and to be able to give you constructive criticism on maybe things how it should be shaped, how it should flow, that type of thing, and what type of market that it should be put in, basically. But yeah, you're not going to need, like, how some writers, they need like a ghost writer, they need like an editor, and they need a publisher. I feel like you're going to be able to be the majority of those things for yourselves. You just may need somebody to like read through what you've already written and maybe edit it, like for grammar or whatever. Because again, you could use Chat GPT, but I don't know how good it is. And where you're going to be marketing things for the spiritual people, having having a publisher could be a good thing, but you could always self-publish. You know what I mean? You could always there's a lot of people that oh, thank you. Thank you. There's a lot of people that self-publish. So I wouldn't be afraid of that. But if you do get contacted by somebody that does have the like raw materials needed to make your books and to make this body of work, then you could do that. So I'm getting that the right people will come in at the right time to help you with this Wheel of Fortune. And so not be afraid of people, because yes, there has been somebody that's wanted to copycat you and steal your work, but I don't feel like they're going to come forward wanting to work with you. I feel like you're going to have a legitimate offer here that comes forward. And when this offer will come forward is going to be divine timing. Like, I couldn't tell you exactly when, but it'll be right when you need it, right when you're like, what do I do next? And again, this publishing company may help you get your voice to other people. It's going to be somebody that's a very good worker. They work very well in this field. And then they also have the clientele base, because it could be that a lot of your books get sent to metaphysical shops and things like that so that they're sold there. So yeah, you're going to have somebody that's financially successful, that's already been through, having to self-publish, and don't be, like I was saying, don't be afraid of self-publishing, because the Aragon books, I don't know if you guys know about that, like really, really great story, about people that ride dragons. The Aragon books, there was publishing. Okay. That was the author of the Aragon story books was a teenager when he wrote it. Right. And so he went to publishing company after publishing company and got denied. So what his parents did, because his parents believed in him so much, his parents became publishers, and then they published his work, and then he became a millionaire. So like I said, you don't need to be afraid of self-publishing. And so, yeah, that's just one example of, and who knows too about the Harry Potter lady. What is her name? I forget what is her name? Oh my God, I'm gonna have to look it up. Anyways, it would be interesting to see who her publisher is. You have so many subjects in your journal, it's gonna make a few different books. That's exactly what I'm seeing. Yeah. It could be like a trilogy, like 3 books. But the timing that it's gonna come out is gonna be absolutely perfect. The 8 of Swords, whoever this person is, I'm not kidding, that was bothering you. There is a very, very rash energy coming through that's going to put this person in some type of it could be that this person's going into the mental institution to get some help. They're going to be restricted, and this is going to be a forced restriction because they were completely obsessed with spying on you, and that's really not their divine life purpose. It's not what God has instructed them to do. Watching you is weird. Watching somebody's progress like this is weird, but they're wanting to see what you're doing to be favored. It's just because this person has no creativity and they're blocked. Basically, they've been them going into the mental institution is going to block them from doing witchcraft on you and spying on you, point blank, period. Is, again, they're not going to have all of their metaphysical supplies in the mental institution. And then I have been saying for a minute now that somebody should come up with some type of rehab that, like, pot is always more desirable than body fluid. I feel like there should be some type of rehab for people that do black magic that could, Harry Pothead, exactly, that could definitely get people off of the black magic. Because for some reason, it seems to me like once they start doing the black magic, they have to keep doing it. It's either they just want to keep doing it or they have to keep doing it. Yeah, you're going to have an Ace of Cups, this overwhelming love coming in, and that's never going to change. Literally, loving family, joy, and inner peace. So yeah, you may end up adopting your grandchild for some reason, and there may be a fight that you have to go through with the other grandparents wanting to adopt the child, because when this grandbaby comes into existence, everybody is going to want to hold this baby. They're going to want to touch this baby. They're going to want to be able to be in the energy of this baby, be around this child. I mean, I'm really feeling that. And the good thing about it is that this child's going to have that natural Archangel Michael energy that clears energy. And so it's not going to be a problem for the child. Temperance, Archangel Michael literally just came out. So yeah, I think we'll end it with that. But yeah, this is beautiful. This is just like giving you more structure and giving you more confidence for what you're doing, knowing that you're on the right path, and that you being a divine mother and a divine feminine and holding that energy within yourself, regardless of your gender, is very important at this time, because this person has been trying to pull on your divine feminine traits. Okay. They see you as being a nurturer, and then they want to copy that. I mean, literally, but they're carrying too many burdens. These people are carrying weight. Yeah, there needs to be a rehab for black magic practitioners, to send them to some type of facility in the jinn realm. There you go. Somewhere where they can basically be detoxed off the black magic. I don't know. Maybe that's something some of you guys could create someday. It would be like some type of formula. You know how whatever it's called, the AA book is called. You guys, maybe one of you could create a book that's like the AA book, but for black magic, that could help people get off black magic. Because yeah, a lot of times when people are doing this black magic, it's not just them that's doing it. It's like their mother, their father that was doing it, and all that. They definitely would come back with PTSD for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, you guys. Yes, in your culture, it's giving babies Ojo. I love that. I love that. Okay, you guys, thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. I appreciate you so much. Know that God, black magic for dummies. Yes, somebody needs to make a book. Seriously. Seriously. And if you guys ever figure out how to detox somebody off of black magic, again, some people are like not going to want to take spiritual baths and stuff. But if you can find another way, make a book out of it. That shit will sell, because that is like a really big problem with society that people have not come to terms with or figured out how to deal with. All right, you guys, thank you for making it to the ending of this reading. Please like this video. Make sure that you guys are subscribed, all that good stuff. Know that God loves you. Know that I love you. Until that, JK Rowling, thank you. So yeah, I'm reading about her story as well. Is very inspiring. Okay, you guys, I'm giving you air hugs, lots of support. Go out there and be the great people that you are. Know that God loves you. Know that I love you. Until the next reading, peace be with you guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye. I'll see you in the next one.